Hi, I'm Paulette, and today I wanted to share with you somatic movement exercises. And if you've ever had an injury or trauma to the body, or you have habitual movements, which we all have to a certain extent, then somatic exercises are really good for your body. And what somatic exercise is basically conscious movement. So we're moving more consciously and slowly and connecting the body movements with the brain, and in some ways retraining the brain to move the muscles more functionally. So you won't need any props. You just need your mat and yourself, and let's make our way onto our backs. And we're going to just start by coming into the breath and noticing your breath, bringing your palms onto your lower ribs. And tuning into your breath. So some of these exercises might seem like we're really not doing very much. From the outside, it doesn't look like a lot of movement, but we're doing a lot of internal work. And also some of the exercises might feel a little bit awkward because it takes us out of our habitual patterning. And then noticing the natural arch in the lower back. And we're going to just gently press that down towards the mat. You might feel a slight curling in the tailbone. And then release and allow the natural curvature in the spine to come back. And inhale, pressing it down. And exhale, releasing. Inhale, pressing it down. And now we're going to exaggerate the movement. So pressing the tailbone down and really arching the spine. And exhale. And start to move with your own breath. Inhaling as you arch. And exhaling as you draw the lower lumbar spine into the mat. Noticing how the pelvis lifts as you curl the tailbone down, lifting the spine, and then how it's flat on the mat as you round. And just curling and arching the spine. Noticing how when you curl the spine, you're activating your ab muscles and even your lower back muscles. And then coming back to a neutral spine, taking the right hand to the right shoulder, left palm to the left hip. And then we're going to continue to arch the back with the idea of pressing the right shoulder down and the left hip down. So you're getting this diagonal stretch in the back. So from shoulder to spine to hip and then lower. Curling the tailbone. And let's turn the head to the left. So you can really feel that stretch going across the back. Coming into your breath and the rhythm of your breath. And this simulates walking. It's some of the same muscles that we use when we walk. And we'll do one more. And release the head back to center. We'll take the right hand to the right hip, left hand to the left shoulder, turning the head to the right, and then the best you can, really pinning that left shoulder, right hip down as you arch the spine. And then release. And if this is hard, that's okay. Just stay with the movement. Maybe noticing if one side is a little more challenging than the other. Moving with your breath. And release. Bringing the head back to center. And then bringing the palms behind the head. And without taking your right foot off the floor, we're going to draw the right hip towards the right armpit. And coming back to center and over to the left. So left hip to left armpit. And this might not feel like a whole lot of movement, but there's definitely effort happening here. So you might be moving your upper body slightly more than your hips, and just noticing that. Everything stays on the floor. And noticing where you feel the stretch. Could be in the hips or the side bodies, and the intercostal muscles in between the ribs. And moving with your breath. And let's come back to center. And then coming back into our curving of the spine, so pressing the arch, natural arch of your spine down, and then the tailbone and the pelvis lifts. Arms can come to the sides. The intention here is to strengthen the lower back muscles and also to build awareness around those muscles. Pressing the lower back into the mat and then activating your thigh muscles. Let's make our way into bridge pose. You can stay here with the palms at the sides or interlace the fingers behind the back, coming onto the razor's edge of your arms. And deep breath in and exhale. Release the fingers and see if you can bring the back down one vertebrae at a time. The lower back is definitely more challenging for me. And let's take the right arm up and over the head. Rolling over to the right. And we'll make our way onto our belly. Coming into Sphinx Pose, so the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Lengthening through the front of the spine. The front of the pelvis is on the mat. And noticing the breath coming in and out through the belly. Moving into Crocodile. So you can take your left elbow to the outer edge of the mat, right elbow to the outer edge, stacking palm on palm, and resting your forehead down. And then inhale, press the head up, stretch through the arms. Pressing the pelvic floor down onto the mat. Let's do one more. And exhale, lower. Bringing that palm back in, resting the forehead down. Pausing and feeling the body on the mat. And then let's bring the right palm down along the side, resting your right cheek on the back of your left hand. And then using your arm, we're going to lift the head up and release down. Inhale. So you're lifting the head with the hand and the arm. Then release it down. You might feel kind of funny, but this is a really good stretch for the lower back. And release down. And the next time we come up, lifting the right leg and release arm and leg. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. And coming into your authentic movement. And one more on this side. And release. Bringing the right palm back and releasing the left palm to the left side. Turning onto your left cheek. And inhale. Start to lift the head with your right arm and lower. Inhale and lift. And lower. And inhale, using that arm to lift. Let's lift the left leg as well. And lower. And lifting both arm and leg. Creating that crisscross in the back again. And then let's bring the palms to chest level, rise up. Make your way back onto your back. Let's take the right palm behind the head. Left palm can be at the side. And then inhale, exhale. We're going to lift the head with the palm. And then release, keeping the elbow out to the side. Okay, next time we're going to lift and bring the knee towards the elbow. and release it down. Lift, elbow comes in, left knee lifts, and coming back down. So when you feel like you're starting to move in a robotic way, come back to the breath and the body movements. It's a constant reminder to reconnect with the body movements and keep the brain engaged and not go somewhere else. And then release back down to the floor. Let's take the left palm behind the head. You can bring the right palm down to the side, and then lifting the head with the palm. The head should not do any straining here. And then release it down. And starting to move with your own breath. You're inhaling and exhale, coming back down. This time we're going to lift the left arm and the right knee and bring the elbow and the knee together and then down. Noticing the core muscles tighten as you lift and release as you lower, maybe a little natural arch in the lower spine as you come down. And then release. Let's bring the right palm behind the head again. This time we're going to inhale and lift up and lift the right knee as well, and take hold of the right knee with the left hand and draw the elbow to the knee, knee to the elbow, and release. Again, lift, knee comes in, hold on to it with your left hand and release it down. So here we're stretching the right side. We'll do one more on this side. And then lower. Release that palm down. Let's take the left palm behind the head. Lifting the head. Lifting the left knee. Taking hold of the left knee with your right hand. And release it down. Lift. Hold. And release. You can really feel how we're working the core here, activating the abdominal muscles. And let's do one more on this side. And release. Arms to the sides. Let's take the arms up and over the head. Stretch out those abdominal muscles we just worked. And let's take the right arm up and over the head, rolling over to the right. And so we're going to work on the muscles in the waist, resting on your right side, taking your left arm around your head. Knees are stacked one on top of the other. And we're going to work on the muscles in the waist. So using your palm to lift the head. It's like we're doing a side sit up and then coming down. And lift. See if you can keep your head heavy. And then keeping the knees together like they're glued together. And then the next time we lift, we're going to lift the upper leg and down. So this is really working that upper arm and stretching out the waist. And we'll do one more wherever you are. And release it down. And let's make our way onto the other side. You can simply roll over. I'm going to turn to the other side of my mat. This time resting on your left arm. And taking your right arm around your head, stacking knee upon knee, hip on hip, and then using the strength of your arm to lift your head. See if you can drop the weight of your head into your hand, and then release down. Inhale as you lift, and exhale as you lower. So again, the knees are cemented together. And let's go ahead, and next time we lift, we're going to lift the top leg and release down. Coming back to the movement in your body. If you've checked out, making this movement authentic and not robotic. And we'll do one more. And release. Rolling onto your back. And coming into an X pattern on the floor with your arms and legs. Lengthening through the right leg and the left arm. Again, doing the best you can. This is just information about how tight our waist and our rib case is. And then extending through the left leg and right arm. So keeping all the limbs on the floor and just stretching them away from the midline of the body. So opposite leg, opposite arm, left leg, right arm, and right leg, left arm. Moving with your breath. So this doesn't look like a whole lot of movement on the outside. You can feel it much more internally. Let's do one more on each side. and release. Bending the knees, taking your knees over to the left, taking the right arm up and over the head and turning the palm to face the floor. And then bringing the knees back to center and over to the right. Left palm comes up and turns towards the floor. Inhale, coming up. One more time to the left. The right palm faces the floor. And then turning to the right with the knees, and the left palm faces the floor. And then coming back to center, arms come to shoulder height. Taking your right ankle on top of the left thigh and allowing the knees to fall out to the right. And the head turns over to the left. And the left palm turns up. And then inhale, coming back to center. Switching the ankles. So left ankle over the right thigh. Guiding the knees over to the left. Turning the head to the right. Turning the right palm up, left palm down. And then inhaling, coming back to center. So the knees move towards the closed palm and the head towards the open palm. Inhaling back to center. Switching the legs and the palms. And inhale as you come back to center. Exhale as you move the knees to the right and head to the left. And then making this into a moving meditation. What I like about this movement is it is a really good stretch, and it's also good for the mind-body connection. Because the mind constantly has to figure out which part is going where. And let's do one more on each side. And let's come back to center. And then bringing the palms together and the arms into a steeple. Let's take the right ankle on top of the left thigh, moving the palms and the arms over towards the right. And so once your elbows start to bend, that's where you want to pause and stay. And then coming back to center and drawing the palms over towards the left, knees to the right. Inhaling back to center and just moving with your breath. Let's switch the ankles. So the palms go right and the knees go left. So you might not be able to move the upper body that far, and that's totally okay. We're just becoming aware of our range of motion with the torso. And notice if you're holding your breath, then maybe you're trying to do too much. And then release. And just becoming aware of our ability to rotate the trunk. And we can continue to work on this to gain greater mobility. And now working with the muscles of the hips and the joints, let's extend the left leg, letting the right knee come out to the right. And then taking the right foot underneath the left knee. Palms can be at the sides. We're going to use the right leg to lift the left leg. So you're scooping your left leg with the right foot. Lifting the left leg with the right foot. And notice if you turn your foot, the knee comes up, and if you flatten the foot down, the knee comes down. So seeing if you keep that knee level as you lift and lower. Using your breath as you inhale, lift the legs, and as you exhale, lowering the legs down. So you might want to take this really slow so that you can become aware of the right leg, right foot lifting the left leg rather than the left leg just lifting itself. And you can feel the lower back muscles working, the core muscles working, hip and legs. And then lowering that down, taking the right foot out from underneath the left leg and everting the knee and the foot. So drawing the knee into the center line. And then release. Let's take the knee back out to the right and back to center and lower that right leg down. Bending the left knee, bringing the left knee out to the left, and then sliding that left foot underneath the right knee. And then inhale, we're going to use that left leg to lift the right leg. And if this is really difficult, just take it nice and slow. Don't have to go any particular pace, just whatever feels good in the body, in your body. And this side is definitely harder for me, but it's good information. I know that I need to work this side a little bit more. And just notice how much your left knee comes up in order to lift the right leg. And if you turn the foot so that it points towards the ceiling, the knee comes up. And if you flatten the foot, the knee comes down. This is way harder than it looks, right? And let's do one more. And release. Can roll the left foot out from underneath the right knee. And let's turn that knee in, foot out. And then one more time, the left knee to the left. Deep breath in and exhale. Taking the sole of the left foot onto the floor, right foot onto the floor. Lift the left arm up, roll over to the left. And then coming back up. And turning the knees to the right, bringing the right foot on top of the left thigh. And taking the left arm to the right shoulder, bringing the right palm down. And then starting to twist to the right. You can move the eyes over to the right as well. And then when you come back through center, move the eyes to the left. If that makes you feel dizzy, then you can close the eyes and go inward. Inhaling as you twist and exhaling as you come forward. And now this time, as you twist back, lifting the right elbow and exhale, coming back through center, rounding the back, bringing the elbow down. And inhale, lift. Maybe you can take the stretch a little bit further. Exhale, come through center, round the lower back, draw the elbow down. And you can bring the eyes into this motion too, looking over to the right. And then as you come through center, looking down. And then coming back to just a twist through center. And one more time. And back through center. And release the palm. Let's switch the legs. So bringing the knees over towards the left. Left foot on top of right thigh. Bringing the right palm across to the left shoulder, left palm down. And starting to twist. And so maybe each time you twist, you can go a little deeper. Bringing the eyes with you as you look to the right and then over to the left. And if that's creating some vertigo, you can close the eyes and turn the gaze inward. And next time you turn, lifting that right elbow. And rounding the back, turning the gaze towards the floor. Inhale, lifting the elbow, and exhaling, rounding the back. Inhale, lift the elbow, maybe a little higher, and exhale, coming back through center. Let's do that 2 more times, moving with your breath. And exhale, and 1 more. Now let's come back to just the twisting without lifting the elbow. Maybe you can twist a little deeper here. And then coming back through center. Let's do it 1 more time for a good measure. And exhale, coming back to center. If you have a few more moments and you'd like to come into Shavasana for a few breaths, you can do that. If you'd like to go back to any part of the video and revisit it, you're of course welcome to do that. And if you're ready to move on with the rest of your day, thank you for practicing with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Namaste.